A little bit different with Cat Chat this week. Instead of talking to Stevie Way, because he's actually in transit and coming back from New Zealand, so we'll give Steve the day off, understandably. Let's go into the boardroom and go right to the top, to the Chief Executive, and have a chat to Nick Marvin. Good morning, Nick. How are you?
Morning, Dave. Very well, thank you.
Thanks for joining us on Cat Chat around Radio West. Now, let's talk a few things, some board decisions. Now, we've put the team together. Rob Beveridge, good signing in the off-season, got a great bunch of players, including a couple of young development players out of the Perth Redbacks. Where do we go from here? There's obviously some issues surrounding Paul Rogers and the makeup of the squad for the rest of the year.
Yes, when we finished last year, we had effectively 4 years of finishing fourth. We realised that if we didn't make wholesale changes, we would finish in the same situation this year. The club decided to go for a seasoned coach, a proven performer, and Rob Beveridge was available, and we decided to back someone who has a consistent track record of working with young players and making them very good. So yes, a brand new team. Unfortunately, as is experienced across the league, injuries are part of basketball, part of sport, and right now Paul Rogers is on a long-term injury waiver, and we wait further news, but it is very likely that he will not come back this season.
Is there much pressure being brought to bear by Jack Bendat, the owner, to perform better than the fourth place finishes over the last 4 years? I mean, I know it's been reported that he said a championship or nothing.
I think the pressure comes from who we are, our identity as a club, and the state of Western Australia more than Jack. One of the great things we noticed, certainly with the new squad, is the amount of built-in brand requirements or pressure on the club to perform. We have been so successful for so long that finishing fourth, which we would happily accept in the AFL or cricket, is not acceptable in basketball. It's not acceptable for the Perth Wildcats. No, when we basically started afresh in March, Jack made it very clear that he wanted to back the decisions that we made. We made a lot of decisions, and so the pressure hasn't been from Jack, but it has been an endemic pressure from being a Wildcat, whether you're in the front office or the back office. The trails blazed by legends like Ellis and Vlahoff and Grace and Fisher and Crawford, it just puts pressure on you wherever you are.
I guess a fourth place finish would not be acceptable, particularly this year when there's only 8 teams in the competition. Suffice to say, going into the start of this week, the Perth Wildcats back on top of the table. Now, they haven't won a championship for 8 seasons. 2000 was the last championship season. 2009, we need to keep building. There's been an away trip this week to New Zealand, and we're straight back right at the end of the week to play again this weekend. We're playing on Saturday night back at home. An enviable record, 5-0 of the last 5 games at home. Can we keep it going against Cairns on Saturday night?
This will be the big test. And we've talked about every game as an opportunity to push ourselves, and this will be a big test because Cairns are already here. They will be waiting for the Wildcats to arrive from New Zealand, realign themselves to a 5-hour time differential to Perth time, and show up and play Saturday night. So that will be the big test. And travel is all mental. It is all mental. When you hear sports people complaining about travel, it's all mental. It's not ideal. There is no question about it. But the best players in the world, in the NBA, travel, play 3, 4, 5 games a week if they have to. We just have to get our head around it. It's not easy. There is no question about it. But we will have to prepare physically and mentally to show up and win.
Joining us on Cat Chat this week on Radio West, it's the Chief Executive of the Perth Wildcats, Nick Marvin. Thank you very much for your time.
No worries. Thank you, Dave.